You ever found yourself down in the dumps and you don't know where to turn? Don't worry, we've all been there. At times like this, it helps me to look at somebody who's overcame tremendous odds only to have tremendous success. Someone like Johnny Depp. I believe Johnny Depp is an inspiration because he overcame a tough childhood, he overcame poverty, and he overcame mediocrity. Let us first talk about how he overcame his childhood troubles. Johnny Depp stated in his autobiography that one of his most troubling things during his childhood was the constant stress of moving. He recalled that in his childhood he moved over 20 times, and to him this caused a lot of stress. At school, he was always the weird new kid, and he always felt like he never had a real home. Now, along with the constant stress of moving, Johnny Depp also developed a slight case of Tourette's syndrome. Now, at school, this would cause him to make small, uncontrolled clicking and popping sounds, and no matter what school he moved to, he was always an outcast. But Johnny Depp overcame these odds because he believed in himself, and he moved on to bigger and better things. Now that we know how he overcame his childhood troubles, let's talk about how he overcame poverty. Now, at the age of 16, Johnny Depp dropped out of high school, primarily because he had a lot of stress to deal with schooling, but he had a second thing that he wanted to do, which was to pursue greatness with his band, The Kids. Now, after a brief stint in success, The Kids broke up due to in-band conflict, and with the breakup of The Kids came the loss of Johnny's only source of income at the time, and he digressed into poverty. And then after the breakup, Johnny was only a part-time job as a waiter, and he lived out of his friend's '67 Chevy Impala because he couldn't afford an apartment building off of the salary that he made. But he caught a break when he married his wife, Lori Allison, who was a personal hairstylist to Nicolas Cage. And when Johnny Depp was introduced to Nicolas Cage, he was introduced into the world of acting. Now that we know how Johnny Depp overcame poverty, let us talk about how he overcame mediocrity. With the introduction to Nicolas Cage, Johnny was introduced into the world of acting. But his start was not as smooth as he hoped it would be. He could only land small roles in movies as a background person, or maybe a few speaking parts, or he could only land parts in commercials because he didn't have his name out there. And but for the first time in his life, he felt that he had found his career goal, that he found his home in acting. So he continued acting, even though he wasn't very successful right away. Now, through the help of his friend, Nicolas Cage, Johnny Depp found his first major role in The Nightmare on Elm Street, and from there, his career blossomed into the superstar he is today. In conclusion, Johnny Depp proved that with the belief in yourself, with the catching of a break, and through the help of friends, that you can overcome any odds. And that's why I believe Johnny Depp is an inspiration, because he used those factors to help him overcome a tough childhood, overcome poverty, and overcome mediocrity.